Hey, folks, welcome back from the break. Congratulations, Ella, on the news. What was your reaction to finding out?
Just excitement. I mean, it's an honor always to step up and try to help these young ladies over here get a little bit better. And I think that's the only thing is that you're just trying to help the club. I'm loyal to Chicago. I played here. I believe in Laura Ricketts, and I believe in what we're trying to build. And that was when they asked, it was a no-brainer.
And you're starting your second stint as interim head coach in the place where you began your coaching journey. I mean, what is it like to kind of come to that full circle moment?
Again, Chicago, we have our faults. I think everybody understands that. But this whole last couple of weeks, or this 10 days, it feels like weeks, we just are really trying to say how thankful we are to be here and how grateful we are as this group. And this group is going to finish the season. And that for us is empowering, and maybe Shea can elaborate more on that, but we believe in the people that are sitting in this room that we start this day with and we end with, and that is all we're trying to focus to go forward.
And I mean, I do have to mention, I mean, you are the third head coach of the team this season. I mean, what are your thoughts on the stability of the team right now?
It's good. Again, I don't want to put words in a player's mouth. I think they have to take that ownership, and Shea is a veteran in this league. She's been through a lot in this league. So I hope she gives her honest opinion. But again, I think there's this feeling of being grateful right now because the people that are in this room, and I'm speaking like they're in this room this morning, we want to be here. We're grateful to be here. And it's all about, we've implemented this little 10 minutes where staff and players say a little bit about themselves the last 10 days. And we'll continue to do this till the end of July because there's an empathy and there's an understanding that, no offense to anybody on the outside, you don't understand. And it empowers off and it doesn't knock us down. And that's what we're trying to take into these next couple of weeks.
And Shea, I mean, as someone who has been on the highest highs and some of the lowest lows in this league, I mean, what are your feelings right now being on the Stars?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say it for anybody in this league, but like all the women are extremely resilient, and that I think is what makes us so special as athletes, but even more special. I've never played with a group that I think has been through as much as we've been through, and people are still showing up every day and punching their ticket. There's no quit in this team, and kind of like Ella said, we're at a point where it's like we get that no one else is going to understand that. People have written us off and things like that, but we believe in what we're doing. We know we've gotten better. The results haven't showed that, but this season's not over for us, and that's been a refreshing thing coming back from this week and still finding the will to compete and just strive to push this club forward, because at the end of the day, I've been on a few different teams and you might move on and, people will be in and out of here, but I think people do genuinely care about this city. They care about this club. We want to leave it better than when we left and than when we came, and then, yeah, I think there's a genuine desire to want to do that.
And just last one for Ella. I mean, what do you want the team to get out of this set of matches in Kansas City?
I want us to find the joy. I think we make it so complicated sometimes. I've lost my voice probably from yelling at them today, but we want empowerment. We want you guys to show after these games, oh, that's Chicago. And we're going to create this mission statement that's going to come from the players. And I hope they share it. And every day after that game, whether we win or lose, you're going to say, that's Chicago. So we're just trying to tighten up the ship so whoever comes in, they want to be here and they want to run it, and the players all buy into that. And that's just what we're trying to do step by step.
Perfect. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leslie. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for the time, as always. Ella, curious, what is the message for playing time as it goes into a summer, cup match, as you have some players in, some players out? What is the message for this squad? This is an opportunity for some of the players maybe at the back end of the roster to get some minutes that they wouldn't normally get?
I'm going to go off with what Shea was talking about. It's not over for us yet. So in the motivation, I think, for this player is that whatever coach is coming in, they're going to be watching these games. And the players that haven't played and all the frustration on both sides, you want to show, you want to come, and it's a trophy. We're all here because we want to compete and win something. And for some of us going to Kansas City, it might be a little bit more personal in a good way. And that's what we're going to do. You're going to see some players, everybody's going to get some minutes, and they're all fighting for that game in Gotham. And that's been the message that's said, and that's the precedent we're setting. Everybody has something to earn.
And Shea, how has that been within the locker room of understanding that need to once again earn a role, not only for you, but understanding everybody with the motivations of trying to empower this locker room?
Yeah, I think it's really important to have that, and I think it's good for players to, in some senses, feel that pressure or feel that they have an opportunity to continue to prove themselves. I think sometimes you get in the mindset of like, oh, this coach has written me off and things like that, and I think now in the position that we're in, it's really good timing for everybody to really have time to showcase what they have to offer. And despite the players that have gotten a lot of minutes or not gotten a lot of minutes, everyone's brought something. And like, I can't express, I've had my ups and downs here, but like the importance of like what the scout team does, what the players do to prepare each other, or like I think I learned, like, coming back from the injury, like being on the bench is an equally as important role, because you're seeing the game. I know the tendencies of my players, and I can give them actual feedback that's going to help us, and that is helping the team, despite maybe not seeing the field as much as you would expect. But so I think it's a great opportunity, and I think players are really excited, and it does feel like we've turned over a new leaf, and I think we're just ready to kind of show that.
Shea's also saying that because we competed all last week, so we just had a fun competition. We have a little winner's board, and you're speaking to the winner, so she's doing just fine. She's doing just fine.
Pretty much the least surprising thing you could have said.
Yeah.
And Shea, I'm curious, what would you use to characterize the way Ella's been coaching this team? What are some characteristics of this, I'd say new coach, but we all agree.
Do you want me to step out?
No, I really do think Ella's brought a lot of structure for us. I think we craved that a little bit and kind of just needed someone to enforce it. And I think Ella, coming obviously from a playing background and having been in our shoes, like, there's not really much you can say to her, because she knows what we've been through. So I think it's bringing that, and then just continuing. I think that's what we've been doing this entire year, no matter who's been the coach, is just continuing to develop that Chicago identity and find out who we are and how we can continue to bring that every single game, and that can be evident. So I just think that she's really helped us just get to an understanding of that and continue to get closer to that goal.
And I think just to piggyback on that is I've given them the accountability.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I want in the coaching staff with Corinne and Brenton. They are going to come up with their own identity, and then it's my job to hold them accountable to that identity. And sometimes that's not easy as a coach, but it makes my job easier because they've set the precedent.
Understood.
So that's where we
last
are.
one. For you, Ella, are you still in the middle of training, whistle, or do we give that to somebody else now that you're the interim head coach?
She was out there today.
Unfortunately, we played 10 versus 8.5, so some staff had to be involved, but I still get my workouts here and there.
Love to hear it. Thank you both so much, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Jillian, go ahead. Jillian, you can unmute if you still have a question. There you go.
Thank you so much. Hey, Ella and Shea, thank you so much for the time. My name's Jillian. I'm out of Kansas City, but I will be on the call for ESPN Plus for this tournament. And Ella, congratulations. Just really curious as to what are your thoughts on the implementation of these new kind of summer tournaments, and just what are you hoping to get out of playing international teams?
I think it's exciting. It's kind of, you want to show the pride of the NWSL and where we are, but it's also good for, if you look at the European season, they always kind of get this summer break, so it allows them to have a much needed week off to refresh it, and then not so much time that they can still build and become better. And it allows us coaches to also to reset, to say, okay, this is what we want to try to implement, this is what we want to change, this is what worked, and this what hasn't worked. So I just think it's a positive all around, and you get players that, again, I'm not going to show them our cards, but players have to earn the right to play, and that's what these 2 games is, to get minutes and try to compete at the highest level. And it's a great that you get Brazil, and then you get another NWSL team, so it's pride.
And if you don't mind, I'd love to hear your thoughts on your experience under Emma Hayes. Congratulations on that opportunity as well. Just what's it like been watching her new strategy and really just working under a coach who is so passionate about doing everything through the female lens?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more the mom aspect of it. I mean, when I was in camp, I picked her brain, how do you do it? And there's definitely some guilt there, but for me, it proves that you can be a mom and you can be great at your job. And I think sometimes you feel you just can't. I mean, I was up till 1 a.m. last night trying to do a scout for 15 minutes. And, I chose to do that because I was with my boys until 8 p.m. I did bedtime, and then you're going to pay the price. But at the end of the day, there's somebody at the top level, a young coach, arguably, that wants to choose kids and comes back in the game. And I think sometimes you have kids and you feel like you can't do it, and she's proof that you can.
And Shea, if you don't mind, just maybe your thoughts on kind of how you feel the first half of the season went for Chicago.
Yeah, obviously, results aren't there, and that's definitely something that we've wanted to change, but I think it got to a point where it was more about the progress of this team. I think the unique part about the NWSL is you're really not out until you're out, and I've made it to the playoffs, maybe not by a landslide, but by a lot or by the skin of our teeth, and I mean, we're not out of it, I guess, is where we're at. And I do think we got better. I think, players had to step up, and there's, you've lived a whole season basically in the first half, but emotionally too. But I do think refocusing and coming back after this break, it's really felt good for us. I feel, especially in the last 4 or 5 games leading up to the break, we could have easily had different results. We could have had 3-4 wins there, and we just didn't. But we're in games now, and I think it's coming together, and I'm excited to see what the second half has to offer.
And do you guys have any fun with Ludmila approaching this tournament, being that it will be some of the Brazilian team?
Yeah, we're you can't be friends with them until after.
We're just telling her we're unlocking the Ferrari.
Yeah.
We call Ludmila the Ferrari, and Corinthians, we've unlocked her. So good luck. That's all we're gonna say.
I love that. Just last one, Shea, how do you feel about coming back to Kansas City? Will you get to see your family? I know some of us here in KC are excited to see you, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could have never dreamed that Kansas City was going to be where it is now with women's soccer, when I obviously was there in 2015 to 2017, but it's been incredible to watch it grow. It's a childhood dream of mine to see what it's become now. So any chance I get to go home and play in that stadium in front of my friends and family is super special. And then now obviously being there for a week, I'm going to show a lot of my teammates my childhood home that I grew up in, and just get to spend a lot of time with friends and family that I wouldn't normally get to spend, and have my niece at a game, and some of my sisters. So it's always extremely special, but even more so just seeing how the sport I love has grown in the city that I love.
Thank you both so much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, go ahead.
Coach, I'm going to start with you. You've been through this coaching staff. You've been with the 2 previous coaches. What do you think that you saw and you learned that you can implement with this team that wasn't done previously? Is there something you take away by being close to it, observing it, that you can bring to the table now that maybe you've seen hasn't been done?
Jim, are you on a beach? It looks really nice. And
I'm not. I'm just on a balcony.
It looks nice.
I wish.
I think it's just, again, my message has been clear. Let's just tighten things up. I think Shea said it, we've gotten better, and it's 1 or 2 actions that have failed us, that a goal has been scored, or maybe concentration has been lack up. So my biggest thing, and it's the coaching staff, it's not just me, all of us have just said, okay, these are the goals conceded, these are the goals scored, why? And we started there and we worked down, and then we've just picked the top 3 things, trying to keep it as simple as possible. And I've asked some colleagues of mine that I really trust in this game, how do we make it simple, but create growth, and then create where they want to buy in. And that is all we've tried to do, is just literally tighten things up, defensively, tighten things up, transition, tighten things up, but don't take away why we are great. We scored great goals on transition, and we're starting to play and to keep that structure. And we're just trying to continue to grow, tightening, to continue what we're great at.
And Shea, it's been sort of a summer of soccer. You've had some time off. How closely have you been following the Euros, and what are your sort of thoughts and takeaways from the European game now that you might have some time to watch and see?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's been incredible just to see how far the game has grown, and just the fan turnout, the viewership turnout, I think has been really incredible, and just being able to showcase the high quality that obviously Europe has to offer. Obviously, we've been watching Natu and our new teammate Kathy very closely. We usually have them on while we're lifting, but it's been incredible, and I'm just so glad for the exposure and the coverage that we're getting in the women's game now.
Fantastic. All right, go get them in Kansas City.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Matt, go ahead.
Oh, that's a good headshot.
And then for Ella, your time as a player, how has that experience helped you as you are now a head coach?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know if I get it right. Probably a bit more emotional because I understand, or I try to push them a little bit harder than because I know they can do it because I was where they were. But I hope it just gives me, I think when you transition from a player to a coach, you can so quickly forget that the path to get there and what it was like to be them. And the whole reason I started coaching, because I was lucky, and I share the story, is I was a superstar, I was a bench player, and I was invisible. And for me, I think we can so forget about those people that are invisible, but without them, the scout team, the ones that are grinding every day, they're on the roster, they're not playing, they have to show up the next day. And for me, from a player, I think that's what helps me, is to not forget being invisible. And then at the same time, holding them to a standard that they set, and because of what they do day and out, because I live that they can do it if they believe that they can do it. And honestly, through all of it, is to have grace, because these guys are so hard on themselves. And if a lot of them will be like, give me 3 positives you did today, because they walk off, and Shea Groom could be an example, not that she is, and she could have had 3 goals, but she gave away 1. I asked Shea what you took away. She's like, I gave that 1 ball away. So it's from the playing, it's just give yourself a bit of grace to try to go on the positive, but still also work on the things that we can get better.
And then for Shea, how do you as a player deal with changes in the head coach position?
Yeah, like I said before, I think we're a group of very resilient women. I've been fortunate to have a lot of different coaches over the course of my career, and I think that's really helped me. It's obviously hard to go through any coaching change, much less like multiple, but I think this group has done incredibly well with it. And it's not, it is really like a family. Like even the people that have moved on, like they're still part of what we've built here. And that's just the natural business of the game, unfortunately. But I think, like we said, it's hard to describe to anybody else because only us really know about it, and everybody that's been here has been bought in. And I think, the players, quickly realized we are the consistent, we are the constant, and we make this what it is. We can listen to outside noise and feel like, oh, the boat is getting rocked, but at the end of the day, like we're the steady in all of it. And I really feel like it's just been a bonding experience for us, and we know that what we can bring can be consistent no matter who's at the head of it at the end of the day.
Then for both of you, talk about the Chicago identity. What do you want that to look like on the field?
Well, we haven't come up with our mission statement yet, but I think for us, we have a group of gritty players. We want to be the team, especially with the situation that we're in, that never quits. Like, you're not going to see people walking or giving up on a play. Like, we really want to have that blue collar, never say die attitude. And I really do feel like we've lived that out, especially in the last 10, 14 days. And
they've been pushed a little bit.
Yeah, they've been pushed a little. Yeah, we've been getting pushed. But I think, again, that's like something that we needed because that's within a lot of us. I think that is a unique quality that a lot of the players that we have bring. And then now, like Ella said, tightening things up, putting us in the best position to do things that we're good at in terms of, transition and keeping the ball and just the creativity side offensively. So I think, yeah, first and foremost, gritty and passionate and, a family, but beyond that, we want to win games and we ultimately want teams to not want to play us.
I'm going to add one word, is resilient. It takes a lot for these women to be in this room to say, hey, there's light at the end of the tunnel. They could all be checked out. They could sit in front of me and say, okay, I don't want to be here. And I can tell you it's not that. They have bought in, and it's not to me, they have bought into the situation, whether it's the person to their right and left, but they want to come out here and prove something that, hey, a lot can change, but our core is strong. And this player group is really resilient, and they want to be here. And that, to me, is, I hope, what they show in this Teal Rising Cup, but that's what the people that are in this room are going to be in here, and we want to be in here, and we want to believe in each other, and we want to have that hope, and more important, the confidence and trust. And that's all we're focusing on.